There's a certain kind of exhaustion that sleep can't touch. It's the ache of holding yourself together so no one else falls apart. You know that feeling, the quiet panic behind a calm smile, the constant scanning of the room to make sure everyone's okay before you even ask if you are. It looks like kindness from the outside, but inside, it feels like survival, because somewhere along the line, you learned that love came with conditions. That affection could vanish if you disappointed someone. That safety lived in silence. So you began to please, not out of joy, but out of fear. It probably started early, before you even had words for it. Maybe the people you needed most were busy surviving their own storms. Maybe warmth came and went depending on your behavior. So you became a mind reader, learning to sense every shift in mood, every sigh, every flicker of disappointment. You shaped yourself around other people's needs, the way water fills any container. And little by little, you disappeared inside the shape they required. You grew into the reliable one, the listener, the helper, the peacekeeper, the one who never made things worse, who kept it all smooth. And each time you pleased someone, each time you swallowed your truth, it felt like safety. But what felt like safety was really self-erasure, disguised as love. Years later, that pattern still lives inside you. When someone frowns, your stomach tightens. When there's tension, your mind rushes to fix it. Your nervous system treats other people's discomfort like an emergency alarm. You say yes when every part of you wants to say no, because somewhere deep down, no still sounds like danger. And so you keep offering pieces of yourself, time, energy, emotion, until you start to feel hollow. You tell yourself you're being kind, generous, understanding. But under the surface, a quiet question hums. When is it my turn to be understood? It's strange how emptiness can wear the mask of calm. How someone who seems endlessly patient can be quietly resentful. How someone who gives so much can secretly feel invisible. That invisibility is the real wound. You've spent so long mirroring others that you've forgotten your own reflection. In moments of silence, you can feel it, that blank space inside where your wants should be. You don't even know what to wish for anymore, because wanting has always felt selfish. There's a quiet anger buried there too, not loud or cruel, just weary. It's the anger of a child who learned that their needs were inconveniences. The anger of an adult who keeps showing up for everyone else and wonders why no one shows up the same way for them. But even that anger feels forbidden, so you hide it behind patience, humor, apologies. You say it's fine when it isn't. You forgive too quickly to avoid discomfort. Still, the body remembers. And when the body has been silent too long, it starts to speak in other ways. Fatigue that never lifts, headaches, tension in the chest, a quiet sadness that comes without warning. That's the language of all the no's you never said. Then one day, something inside you shifts. It might be a breakup, a burnout, a small disappointment that finally feels too big. You find yourself staring at the ceiling, whispering, "I can't keep doing this." And in that moment, for the first time, you don't mean fixing everyone else. You mean saving yourself. That's where awakening begins. It doesn't arrive like a revelation. It arrives like collapse, the moment you realize that constant pleasing hasn't brought you peace, only permission to keep performing. You start to see the small betrayals, the smiles you force, the promises you regret, the exhaustion you hide, and you start to wonder who you might be without all that pretending. At first, it feels impossible. When you even think about saying no, guilt crawls up your throat. When you imagine setting a boundary, your heart races. It's not weakness, it's memory. Your body still thinks honesty means loss, but you begin to test it anyway. A small pause before you agree. A deep breath before you volunteer. A moment to ask yourself, do I actually want this? And maybe, for the first time, you let yourself answer honestly. At first your voice trembles. You stammer through explanations. You over-apologize for having needs. But the world doesn't end. No one dies when you disappoint them. The sky doesn't fall when you rest. You start to notice something else too. A kind of quiet inside your chest that you haven't felt before. It's not peace yet, but it's space. A space where your true self begins to breathe again. That's when healing takes shape. You begin speaking softly to the younger you who thought love had to be earned. You tell them, you don't have to perform anymore. You don't have to hold everyone together. You get to exist as you are. You begin to feel anger without shame, to treat it not as rebellion, but as a compass, pointing you back toward what matters. You start to practice boundaries, not as walls, but as doors that open both ways. A way to stay connected without losing yourself at first. People don't know what to do with your new no. Some pull away. They were never in love with you, only with your compliance. And that's okay, because others stay, drawn closer by the quiet honesty you're finally brave enough to show. In the emptiness they leave, you find stillness. And in that stillness, you discover something radical. Joy that doesn't require permission. Rest that doesn't require apology. Love that doesn't require sacrifice. You begin to understand that being good doesn't mean being invisible. That care given freely is powerful, but care given out of fear is poison. That you were never meant to be the emotional scaffolding for everyone else's comfort. You were meant to be whole, imperfect, messy, and real. There's a kind of beauty in the moment you realize your worth no longer depends on being needed. You'll still be kind, but it will come from abundance, not depletion. You'll still give, but now it will be a choice, not a compulsion. You'll still love, but it will include yourself this time. You start to notice sunlight again. Noticing it, really noticing, feels new. You feel your breath in your body, not racing to adapt, but simply existing. And somewhere deep inside, that long silenced voice whispers, "Thank you for coming back." Because that's what this whole journey was about. Coming back to yourself. Not fixing, not proving, not earning, just returning. So if you've spent your life pleasing everyone else, shrinking in the name of peace, know this, you were never too much. You were simply with people who asked you to be less. Your softness was never weakness. Your empathy was never a flaw. They were survival skills. They kept you safe when you had no other choice. But you have a choice now. You can let discomfort be your proof of growth. You can let silence be your protection instead of your prison. You can let honesty, even when it shakes, become your new form of love. Because love that demands your disappearance is not love. And the first time you say no without guilt, you'll hear something you haven't heard in years. The sound of your own voice, clear and steady, echoing back through the space you finally reclaimed. That sound is not rebellion. It's resurrection. It's the child you once were finally exhaling. It's the adult you are now saying yes to truth, to peace, to wholeness. You don't need to be fixed. You only need to come home. And every time you choose honesty over harmony, truth over performance, self-respect over guilt, you take one step closer to that home. So rest now. Let others carry their own emotions. Let your kindness serve you too. Because you were not born to be everyone's anchor. You were born to float, to rise, to be free. And when you do, when you finally stop asking permission to exist, you'll find that the world didn't fall apart at all. It simply made room for you to stand in it, fully seen, finally whole. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who gives too much. Remind them that their giving was never the problem. It was their way of surviving. And remind yourself that healing doesn't mean closing your heart. It means opening it inward first.